Have you ever opened a code base and felt completely lost? Hundreds of files, confusing folder names, bugs hiding somewhere, and one small change breaking 5 different things. Now imagine this. Instead of manually searching every file, writing every function from scratch, and debugging line by line, you simply say, Codex, understand this project, find the bug, fix it, add test, and show me the changes. That is the idea behind OpenAI Codex. It is not just a chatbot that gives you code snippets, but Codex is an AI coding agent. It can read your project, understand files, make code changes, run commands, review code, explain unfamiliar code bases, and even help you create pull requests. So in this full course, we are going to understand Codex from zero. By the end of this video, you will know what Codex is, how it is different from ChatGPT, how to use it through CLI, IDE, web or app, how to prompt it properly, how to use it for debugging, building features, code review, documentation, testing, and real project workflows. So before diving into video, let's look what exactly we are going to cover in this video. So here, first of all, we will cover fundamentals of Codex, then installing Codex, setting up the environment, and understanding how it works within IDE. Then we will build a real app together from scratch. After that, we will go into advanced features like sub-agents, skills, automation, MCP servers, cloud agents, and more. And finally, best practices and mistakes to avoid when using Codex in real projects. So this course is beginner friendly, but we will also cover practical developer workflows, so even if you already know coding, you will still find this useful. Also, just a quick information, Simplilearn in collaboration with IITM Parvatak Technologies Foundation brings you the Advanced Executive Program in Applied Generative AI. This 4-month live online program helps you master generative AI, LLMs, prompt engineering, RAG, agentic AI, and MCP frameworks. You will learn through 70 plus hours of expert-led sessions, 60 plus hands-on exercise, and 7 industry-related projects. The program also gives you exposure to the tools like ChatGPT, Azure AI Studio, Copilot, Hugging Face, DALL-E, LangChain, and much more. Learners also get exclusive masterclasses by IITM and IIT faculty or alumni. You can become eligible for a 2-day campus immersion at IIT Madras Research Park. On completion, you will receive a program certificate from IITM Pravatak Technologies Foundation. You also get career support through Simplilearn's Job Assist to help you get noticed by top hiring companies. So, if you want to build real-world generative AI skills, this program is a strong place to start. Do check out the link in the description box and in the pinned comments for more details. So before we deep dive, here's a quick quiz question for you. And the question is, what is the main purpose of OpenAI Codex? And your options are option A, to edit videos automatically, option B, to help write, debug, and review code, option C, to create social media posts only, or the option D, to store files in the cloud. Let me know your answers in the comment section below and let's see who will give the right answer first. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's first understand Codex in a very simple way. See, ChatGPT is great when you want to ask questions, brainstorm ideas, understand concepts, or generate code in conversation. But Codex is designed for different kind of work. Codex is built to work across your actual project files. That means instead of only giving you an answer in chat, Codex can inspect your code base, understand your project structure, edit files, run commands, and help move the work forward. OpenAI describes Codex as an AI agent that helps you write, review, and ship code. Think of Codex like an AI software engineering assistant. You can ask it to explain how your project works. You can ask it to find a bug in an API. You can ask it to add authentication to an app. You can even ask it to write unit tests for a function. You can ask it to review a pull request. You can ask it to create documentation for a module. And you can even ask it to modernize an old code base. So the important thing to understand is Codex is not only generating code. It is helping you work with a real code base. That makes it useful for developers, students, software engineers, product teams, startup founders, and even non-developers who want to understand or manage technical work. Now let's answer a very common question. If ChatGPT can already write code, why do we need Codex? The simplest answer is this. ChatGPT helps you think through the work, while Codex help you hand off parts of the work. For example, if you ask ChatGPT to write a login form in React, it can give you a code snippet. But Codex can do something more practical. You can open your existing React project and say, add a login page that matches the current design system. Connect with the existing API service, validate email and password, handles loading state, and add tests. Now Codex can inspect your project, it can understand your folder structure, it can follow your code style, it can modify the right files, and it can show you the changes. That is the difference. ChatGPT is mostly conversation first, but Codex is project first. ChatGPT gives answers, Codex can take action. ChatGPT can explain code, Codex can explain, edit, test, and review code inside your real workflow. So this does not mean Codex replaces developers. It means Codex helps developers move faster. You still need to understand the requirement, review the output, test the final result, and make decisions. Codex is powerful, but you are still responsible for the final code. So basically, we have understood what Codex is, and you can even see on the screen I have opened the official document of Codex, where it has explained what Codex is, what all features it contains, what all tasks it performs. So you can visit this official docs of Codex and get all the information out there. I highly recommend you checking out this documentation as it has everything you need to know. So let's start by understanding where you can use Codex. So Codex is available across different development surfaces. So first of all, you can use it in the terminal through Codex CLI. See here. Here under using Codex, you can see CLI. So CLI stands for Command Line Interface. So one of the ways of using Codex is using Codex CLI. Another thing, you can use inside your editor through the Codex IDE extension. Another way of using Codex, you can visit here, then clicking on Overview, and you will find how we can use Codex in our IDE. It has complete information and guide, what all you need to know, what all you need to set up, the entire steps and information. Here we have features, settings, ID commands, /commands, and whatnot. Now you can even use it in the cloud through Codex Web. So another way of using is here. You can click on Web and you can click on the overview and get the complete information about Codex Web. It means you can use Codex in the cloud. So Codex is an OpenAI coding agent which you can connect with your GitHub account and you can use on the web. Learn about prompting, common workflows, configuring environments, delegate work from the IDE extension, delegating from GitHub, control internet access and whatnot. And last way to use it through the Codex app. So this is something amazing and a newly added feature of using Codex. So you can see OpenAI Codex app docs mention that Codex can be used through interfaces. So you can visit this Codex app. It is focused on the desktop experience for working on Codex threads in parallel. So these are the steps how you can start your Codex app in cloud and in the desktop app. So follow these steps from these official document. So according to OpenAI docs, it has been shown that Codex can be used through interfaces like IDE, CLI, web, mobile, and CI/CD workflows. So now let's understand all these 4 ways in a little detail. And let's again start with CLI. So Codex CLI is used from the terminal. This is useful when you want Codex to work directly inside your project folder. Codex CLI can read, change, and run code on your machine in the selected directory. A typical workflow looks like this. You open your project folder, you run Codex, you ask it to inspect the project. Then you ask it to find the bug, build a feature, or write tests. For example, you can ask Codex to explain the project structure. You can ask it to find why test is failing. You can ask it to add error handling into the payment API. You can even ask it to refactor a file without changing its behavior. And this is very useful for developers who are comfortable with terminals. So this was the basic idea of working with Codex CLI. Now let's understand about this in little detail. So the Codex ID extension is useful when you want Codex inside your code editor. For example, if you use VS Code or a similar editor, you can work with Codex without leaving your coding environment. You can select code, ask questions, request changes, and review modifications. This is useful when you are actively developing and want Codex beside your code. Now talking about Codex Web. So Codex Web lets you delegate tasks to Codex in the cloud. Codex can read, edit, and run code. Codex Cloud can also work on tasks in the background, including in parallel using its own cloud environment. This is useful when you want Codex to work on a repository while continue doing something else. For example, you can ask Codex to fix failing tests in your repository. You can ask it to add documentation for an API module. You can ask it to upgrade a dependency and handle breaking changes. You can ask it to review a pull request. So Codex does all this for you. Codex can even work in its own environment and then shows you the proposed changes. And now the last one is Codex app, which I have explained to you earlier, but let's revise. So you can use any of these 4 methods to use Codex, whatever suits your requirement. So let's look again at the app of Codex. So let me click on the overview part. You can scroll down and explore all its features. So it is useful when you want a dedicated workspace for agentic coding. It works like a command center for agentic coding with work trees and cloud environments for parallel work. The app helps when you want to manage multiple coding tasks, review diffs, and continue work across different surfaces. So the simple explanation is this. Use CLI when you want terminal-based control. Use IDE when you want Codex inside your editor. Use Web when you want cloud-based tasks, and use the app when you want command center for multiple coding workflows. So choose according to your requirement and start building something amazing. Now I'll show you which is the one that absolutely anybody can use it, no matter how bad your computer is. And so that is Codex CLI. So open your Codex CLI in the official documentation. When you will scroll down, you will find these 3 commands to install, run, and upgrade. So it is very simple to install CLI by just copy pasting this command. Install the Codex CLI with npm. Once you will copy paste it in your terminal, you are good to go with Codex. So let's copy this command. Here, let's enter into command prompt and paste it here and press enter. This particular command will install OpenAI Codex in your device. See, in just 5 seconds, it's all done. Now just type codex-version to verify the installation. So write it codex-version and press enter. And this verifies your installation, that it is successfully installed in your device. Now let's get into Codex and start building something mind-blowing. So for this, just type Codex on your terminal and press enter. And you are inside Codex. So when you will do this, it will ask you to sign up with your account. So whatever ChatGPT account you have, you sign up with this. And another most important thing I want to explain you is this, that go with a paid plan, because Codex does not come with a free plan of ChatGPT. It is a paid plan. So let me show you about the Codex pricing. So basically we have free, Go, Plus and Pro plan. So in this free plan, you will not get enough number of credits to work on Codex. So I'll highly recommend you to go with either Go or Plus. So the most recommended is Plus plan, and it is not that expensive, just $20 per month and you're good to go. And you can build lakhs of application by just investing few dollars. Here you can see Codex on web, in the CLI, in the IDE extension, and on iOS. So this plan offers you the working of Codex. So go purchase this. It's highly recommended. You will not regret. Trust me. No worries. If you don't have any of the plans, you have still two more options to use Codex. First is signing up with your device code or API, or the second one is using the API key. Now, honestly, device code only works if you have another device that is signed in. So really, the only two relevant options are signing in with your ChatGPT subscription or the API key. Now, since most of the people already have ChatGPT subscription, and I also hope that you are also having one, so I'm going to show you with this. So go back to your terminal and connect it and sign it with your GPT account, your paid plan, basically. And here I have been successfully connected where my model shows as GPT 5.4. Now let's see it's working, whether it is working fine or not. For this, we'll type, hey, it is responding, hey. So it is successfully working and it is connected with our GPT. Let's type, who are you? So it says, I am Codex, your coding agent in this workspace. I can inspect the code base, edit files, run commands, debug issues, and explain what I changed. So you can easily chit chat with your Codex platform. So there is further more than chit chatting. Let me show you this. So Codex is a competitor of Claude Code. But Codex, without a doubt, is more powerful at building complex applications, solving deep errors, and running for longer without making mistakes. So, if you aren't using Codex in 2026, you really are missing out because Claude Code, while it is good, it's not as powerful as Codex at many of the use cases. And by the way, if you are having any troubles with the Codex to install, or if its installation doesn't work or throwing some errors, then you might need to check if you have Node.js installed in your system properly. If not installed properly, you can visit its official website and you can download it from there, and you can type node-v to check if it is properly installed or not. And because it was properly installed in my system, that is why we have faced no issues in installing Codex. So before installing Codex, make sure Node.js is successfully installed in your device. Now let me show you how we can select models. Here you can see I'm already into GPT 5.4 high model. But by pressing /model, you can choose different models for your device connection. That is GPT 5.4, GPT 5.5, GPT 5.4 mini, Codex, and GPT 5.2. So these are different models available, but I highly recommend you choosing the latest model of GPT. That is GPT 5.4 because it shows current. Strong model for everyday coding. So enter this. Here you will select the reasoning level for your GPT 5.4. So there are basically 4 reasoning level, which is low, and it is better for fast responses with lightning reasoning. Second is medium, which is by default. It balances speed and reasoning depth for everyday task. Now, the third reasoning level is high, which we are into current because it shows the current. We are into the high model of GPT. So it is greater reasoning depth for complex problems. Because we are going to make complex projects in our device, that is why I have recommended and chosen high for my project. And here comes the extra high version. So the low version I would never suggest you to use. This is simple tool because the simple reason is it has too little reasoning and it will underperform very badly. So personally, I would never use low. And most of the time I do is set it to high actually, because the beauty of high is that if it needs to, it can run for 2, 3, 4 minutes if the task requires it. I think high is the sweet spot and that's what I'm going to select here. So model change to GPT 5.4 high. Now let's give the prompt as where on the system are you running. So just to check where it is actually running in our device. So where in the system you are actually running and press enter. Let's see what it gives. So it shows my current working directory is C drive and under the user SLP15185. So this is the current location where our codex is working. So this is basically our root level, and it would be good running it on the root level. But if you want to build something like an application, or do some AI coding, it's much better to launch it in a specific folder. But as of now, I'm running it inside this directory itself. Now we can press Ctrl C to kill this current process. Ctrl C. So it has killed our present session. And here we need to change the directory now. And we want to build the project inside the documents. So how we can do this? Like this. CD, that is stands for change directory, CD documents, and press enter. It will take us inside the documents folder. Now if you want to go out of this document, you can simply press CD dot dot and it will take out from the documents folder. See, we're out. And if you want to clear something, you can simply press CLS and it will clear all our previous history and bring a fresh new terminal. So if we want to check where we are currently, so we can directly press CD, enter, and it will show we are not inside any of the folders. We are just inside the major root level. Now, the another important command is dir. You must be thinking what it does. Then it shows us all the files and folders along with sizes. So here you can see we have all the files, all the folders, the date and the size. Now we want to work, now let's say we want to work inside a proper project folder. So here we will make a new directory and the command to do the same is mkdir, that is useful in making directory, codex project. This is the name of my directory. Make sure if you are giving two names, like two words with a space, then put the name inside double quotes. Or if you are giving just a single word as the name of your directory, let's suppose codex or just project, you can use without double quotes. But here I'm using the two words, that is why I am closing them inside a double quote. So it will consider it as a single name as codex project and press enter. Now we will go inside this directory. Here we have just created the directory. Now press CD codex project to go inside the codex project and start our project. Actually, enter. See, we are inside the codex project now. Now we can finally launch codex in this particular folder. So press codex. Enter codex, press enter. So do you trust the content? I say yes, continue. And we are all good to go. Another thing I want to make you understand is don't be one of those people who saves everything on the desktop. That is not a good way of doing work. You should avoid that at all the cost. Just have a specific folder for each coding project you are going to build and you are good to go then. Now, the very first thing you want Codex to do is no matter what you are building is to create agents.md file. So I'm going to give the prompt create an agents.md file in this project and keep it empty for now. Just put a header. This is the ultimate system prompt that all the agents should follow. And I pressed enter. And it has started working on this. So it has created agents.md file for us just with an header. And here's the location where it has created the MD file. Now I'll show you what should be the text, the format of the text that should be stored inside agents.md. And here we have the complete prompt. Let me copy paste this prompt. Let's go back to our terminal and let's say put it in the following text inside agents.md and let's paste our prompt. So it is saying I am replacing the placeholder header in this file with the template you have given. Let's wait for it and it's updated with the exact template which we have given above. This is already a very decent agent.md file that we are going to make as agent behave better, respond in a more friendly way, and follow best practices. So need not worry, I'll attach the link to this document with the description box. It is completely free. Take it, use it, and build your project. As of now, we have just seen the basic commands of using Codex. Now we will build a project from scratch. A project where we will use all the commands and all the features of Codex. And the project we are building here is a face transformation app. So what we are building now is the app for women targeting apps. The instinct is to build something for yourself, for the women community. You know, as you want to build a tool that you would use and you can go into this highly competitive industry, but there's so much potential building these mobile apps. But here, as of now, we are building the web app for the same. So actually, I have really good idea of showing how we would look like this app to be. So the basic idea is AI images are much newer, especially since the rise of Nano Banana Pro and Nano Banana 2, than the actual AI text, right? Most people understand AI text. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the potential of AI images to build an app. And this is something that literally every single woman or girl is wondering how she would look if she had a bit smaller nose or if she had a bit lip filler or stuff like that, right? So I think it's a good idea from the technical standpoint because it's going to allow us to use AI images and it is a pretty interesting project to build. So whatever changes you want to do in your face, like you're going for a plastic surgery and you want to see how the particular changes would look like on your face, whether you are just filling your lips or doing a Botox or something like that, you can directly ask them, make the changes on my face, and if it looks good, you can really apply it in your real life and you're good to go for this decision. So I think this is really useful app and many women and many people will like this. So let's start building this amazing project. So I'm not going to build this project. I'm just going to give my idea in the prompt format to the Codex and Codex will build it on my behalf. Let's wait and watch. So now I'm here giving a prompt like this. I want to build an app where you can upload an image of yourself and see how would you look like with different facial changes, smaller nose, lip filter, foxy eye lift, facelift, Botox, different skin tone, and at least 10 plus other things that women often do or would like to see, like when would look on them before doing anything. The target audience is women and the limit is really between 18 to 55 years old. So I am sure that I have given everything or as much as the Codex wants, the idea to build an app. Now let's press enter and see what Codex has to present us. Now I'm giving update agents.md and readme.md files for this. It is very important to update everything in these files. We have pressed enter and Codex have started working on it. So the prompt is like, it's updated already and we can reflect the changes and see the changes in both the files. I will also show you how we can connect our Codex account with the GitHub, and it is very essential because it can save our code there, and whenever we want or we want to share it with any other person, we can directly share our GitHub repository with them. So let's go to the Pinterest, and from here we will select the layout of our app, how we want our app to be looked like. So scroll down, select any of the layout according to your own choice. Let's suppose I like this. So I will copy the link address of this Pinterest layout. I will go back to my editor and I will press Ctrl V. And then I'll give the prompt as, this is what the layout of the app should look like after the user uploads his or her face. It should generate all kinds of different predefined changes to her face. Again, at least 15 to 20 different images, study this layout and save it into the MD files. Now, another thing I'm going to show you is web search. This is one of the best built-in tools into Codex, but again, very underutilized. So, I'm going to give another prompt saying, use the web search tool to find the 20 plus most common facial cosmetic surgeries women do and save them into a single bullet list into a readme.md file. We are using web search for more information and more accurate results here. So let me give the prompt as I've said this. So I have given the prompt here for the web search tool and then we will press enter. So it has started working and generating the desired output for us. See, meanwhile it is working, I want to clear one of your doubts. See, Codex is actually less of coding and more of marketing. I'm learning more about that my target avatar for this built-in project to make the app better, right? And this is something you can do when writing a landing page, when writing email copy. Use these AI agents to understand the industry more, to understand your users more, to write better copy, to do competitive research. There's so much you can do with the tool called Codex. See, people think it's only for coding because it's in the name, right? Codex, but it's not. You can absolutely and exactly use it for marketing, for hiring, for growing your business in all kinds of various ways, for managing your personal productivity. And there's are literally endless ways you can use Codex. Anything that you as a human can do on computer, you can use AI agents like Codex to help you save your time and even do it fully automatically. So meanwhile, I was giving and sharing some information. It has performed his search. So here Codex did multiple different web searches until it had enough information and then it has saved the results into our files. That is much more accurate than what I could even expect. So it is great and I hope this will bring a lot of accuracy in our project. Here I want to show you another cool feature of Codex. Let's say you accidentally shut it off or maybe you don't use the computer for a few days and then you want to go back to the previous session. But you already know whenever we use Codex, it starts with a new session, right? But guess what? There is a command called /resume where you can resume your saved chat and start your coding from there where you left. So let me show it to you practically. Let's suppose we have cleared everything. Then we run Codex again. After a few days, let's suppose we are running Codex again and we want to continue building our app because of some reason we left it somewhere. So we want to resume. So we'll type resume. This command helps us resume the saved chat. So press enter and it has get us back to the project where we have left. So it is showing 12 hours ago I was working on this project. And this is where I seriously want to land again. So I press enter. And here we are back again in our folder in our project which we were building, that is face transformation app. Now we have conducted all the searches, all the data is there with Codex now. But now I want the Codex only to suggest me some names, so I'll give the prompt accordingly. Suggest at least 10 names for my project. I don't want to do anything, I just want Codex to work on my behalf, that's it. So it has given us approximately exactly 12 names. So you can choose any of the name and give the prompt as use this name for my project. So let's see which name I like the most. Face Future, Mirror Muse, Glow Preview. Fine, I'm going with Face Future. It's good. It is suiting our project idea. So I will give the prompt as use the name as Face Future for my project. Here we have taken the idea from the Codex. If you want, you can give your name as well. You don't need to take everything from Codex. Just I'm showing you, you can automate all your tasks. You can ask everything you want to know from Codex itself and Codex will perform it for you. And we are pressing enter. So it is working. I also want to show you It's not always better to resume a session, but you can go into a new session by pressing /new if you want to start something new. It is always highly recommended. Now, I just want to show you how powerful Codex is by telling just one shot to develop a whole app for you. So ideally, this would probably be a mobile app, but I'm recording this on a computer, so I'm going to show you a web app. So for this, I'm going to give a prompt like, let's build this MVP as a web app. Ask me 4 concise questions to understand my vision for this based on what's missing in the README or agents.md files. And I've given be concise because sometimes Codex or any other AI tools or agents exaggerate the things. So it is better to give be concise. So now press enter and it will build this MCP web app for us. So it has asked me 4 questions as I've given him the instructions. So do you want real AI generated results now or a designed MVP with mock generated placeholders? So I want a real AI generated results for my app. Should the app feel more luxury beauty, clinical professional or social viral? Something luxury beauty. After upload, do you want users to see auto-generated 15 to 20 looks immediately or choose categories first? No, they should able to see immediately. You can give the prompt according to yourself how you want your app to be looked like. Daily. And the last question is, do you want the MVP to support only front face selfies or multiple angles too? I can say multiple angles and it will broaden the scope of our app. So it is better to give multiple angles. I wanted to use multiple angles. So I think I have given every answer to every question and it has enough information how I want my app to exactly look like. So let's press enter and let's see what it has to show us. Its cool features. This Codex tool by OpenAI is seriously insane. And why I'm saying this, you will see in few minutes when the app will be all ready and we can use it for our use or we can use it for making money once we will deploy it on the platform. See, if you want to speed the functioning of Codex, then you can even press /fast. This will bring the Codex into fast mode and it will generate the results very fast. Here you are seeing that it is taking a bit time, right? So if you want to generate results faster, then use /fast. But currently it is working. That's why I cannot give the command. Once it is done his working, we can give the command. It's not better not given between. See, it is generating the entire code for us. We don't have to write even a single line of code. What used to take hours few years ago is now being automated. What you have to do is you can make the amendments or the changes in the app by changing few lines of code and you don't have to touch the entire code. Just that section if you want any changes or else you can keep as it is. And you also do not have to manually change. You just need to give the command to Codex and Codex will change according to your requirement. It is super simple and super convenient. Just sitting and just giving right prompts, and that is the real power of prompt engineering. So it is building some of the pages. Let's wait for this. And here it is shown how much time it has taken already. So as of now, it has taken 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Let's wait for few minutes. It's worth waiting, right? Just wait for few more minutes. It is worth waiting until one of the amazing apps will be popped up on our screen. See, the page flow is converted and the code is ready. It is working on some more modules for the project and generating the codes in half. So it is asking, do you want to allow the production build to run outside the sandbox or have a new multi-agent phase? I'm giving yes, approved. It is searching the web to generate the most accurate results, not accurate exactly. So the new flow is compiling and it is documented in next.js securely. See, another code is being generated. So another question it is asking, do you want to allow installing the patched next.js version Okay. I'll give yes and proceed. So you are seeing that it is asking so many questions. Like I've already answered 4 or 5 questions it has asked. It is good actually. So whatever the codex is not doing anything by on its own. It is asking us how we want our app to work like. But sometimes it could be quite frustrating, right? That's why there's another cool feature of codex is you can type codex hyphen YOLO and then it will not ask any of the permissions. It will skip the permission part and generate us the code without asking any further questions. But it is highly not recommended because you want to see what is working, on what all it is working, the code is working, right? So it's better to let him ask how you want your app, let you answer according to your requirement. Meanwhile, you see how it is working in background, and then the app will be ready. It would be more efficient to work like this. But if it is asking a lot of question, it is better to give the command like codex hyphen YOLO and you are free. You can go, you can enjoy. Meanwhile, codex will work on your behalf. Another question, do you want to allow dependency installation? Yes, I want. See, I have given the command as /fast because I want it to perform a little faster, but because it was working in background, it has said it is disabled because something is going in the progress. So the another thing you need to note is you cannot give commands in between while it is working on something. So once it has completed its task, then you can give any of the commands, whether it is /fast, /resume, or codex hyphen YOLO, whatever you want to give. And there are lot many commands. You can type /help and you will find all the commands listed there. It is very difficult to cover all the commands in just one tutorial. So I would suggest you to sit for a while, give it some time, explore all the features, perform it according to your project, and then see how your project is booming over the internet. But the thing you need to do is you need to sit patiently and work with all the commands out there in Codex. And you can also take the reference of the official document of Codex, which I will try to attach the link in the description box below for you. But you can also visit directly by opening your web browser and typing the official documentation of Codex. So before working with any of the tools, especially the new tools, AI agent tools, it is highly recommended that visit their documents first. It is such an amazing feature they have given, like attaching the document with all the tools so that you have the basic idea about how it is working. And if again you have any doubt, you can visit to the YouTube channel of Simplilearn. You can search over there and you must be finding any of the useful video on that topic. So go explore on the Codex app and also the Simplilearn's YouTube channel. It might take some time. As you can see, it has taken approximately 15 minutes. So wait for a while because it is generating a huge and a complete app for us. So machines also take time. Whatever we used to code for 15 hours, it is taking just 15 or 16 minutes. So you already know how powerful it is and how useful it is to learn the code and the tools like this. See, it is performing all the required tasks and installing all the dependencies and whatever is needed in this project. So even if it found any error, it identifies by itself and try to resolve it itself. No need of you. Just give a prompt and go enjoy. Come after 15 minutes or some minutes and then your project will be like half ready. Another question it is asking, do you want to allow the production build to run outside the sandbox? Okay, so we have approved Codex to run npm run build this time. So would you like to run this following command? I want to press yes, proceed. Here you can type codex hyphen YOLO. But it is working, so we cannot give the command right now. So now while this is working, I want to explain IDE. So we will see how to use Codex with your IDE, where IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. And this is what you need when you are building any software. Now, obviously, for simple stuff, for a simple demo or a simple project, you can just stay in your terminal like this. And here only you can do everything. But if you want to build more advanced features or more complex softwares, or do you want to build more complex projects, you want to use a proper ID, you want to see the code, if you want to see your file structure, you can get, so there then you can connect your ID with your codex. It is super fun and it is super simple. And you just need to give, you can use any ID, whether it is Cursor or VS Code, and you can give the prompt and it will perform the task for you. Meanwhile, it is asked another question, so I'm pressing enter. So where were we? Yeah. So I was explaining you can just give the prompt and it will perform for you. And I will also show you practically how you can do it. And there are many benefits of using an ID, and there is no reason to be scared of it. It is just like any other app. So if you are not able to install so if you are able to install Slack or Microsoft Teams or a video game on your computer, you can absolutely install any of the IDE. It is that simple. So you can even, so the most popular IDE in this world is Visual Studio Code. It is open source and completely free. But right now, we also have Cursor. It is more advanced way of working with IDE because it is AI integrated and has a lot of AI features. So you can download any of the two IDEs. For my case, I am using Visual Studio Code. You can even download Cursor by visiting its official website. Just follow the steps shown on the desktop, and in few minutes, you will be good to go with Cursor. Final build. In next few minutes, the app will be all ready, I guess so. Meanwhile, it is performing. Go up, see what all changes it has made, see the code, see the dependencies, and if you want to make any changes, just give the prompt and it will perform for you. See, it has generated the entire code base, the hundreds and thousands lines of code. YOLO, because I want to see what all it is doing in the background. So another question it has asked, so I'm giving yes, proceed, and it is loading much more dependencies. Whatever it is asking, just read the question, see the options, like whatever you want to perform, and give just, I repeat, and just hit enter. So it is asking the permission for running the following command. So run this. As of now, it has taken 24 minutes to build the app. So yeah, this is quite time taking, but very less as compared to what we used to do few years back. So it has edited the package.json file for us. It has performed the web search again to build in the accuracy for the project. Now IML command is build the app for me, fully professional, and stop only when you are fully done. Now, while it is working, I want to just show you how you can open any of your project in IDE and work in the IDE itself and not in the terminal. So here you have seen that we have done cd dot dot, cd documents, cd codex project. This is how we have navigated to our project file, right? But here what we can do is we can directly open one of our IDE, and in my case, I'm using Visual Studio Code. So this is the interface of our Visual Studio Code. We can directly open the folder from here, open folder, our project folder. And here you can directly give the command as codex and it will work inside your folder. You just need to select any of the folder, open it in the Visual Studio Code, then the terminal will show your project location. Here you can type codex and you can literally build the complete app inside a proper folder integrated with your Visual Studio Code. Start working with your IDE because it is extremely good for complex projects. You should build a habit to work inside IDE and not in terminal. But right now I'm just showing a small project. That is why I'm running it in the terminal itself. You can also run it in a terminal, but try using IDE more. So again, look at these hundreds of lines of code Codex has generated. Yet it has taken a minimal time, like 15-20 minutes, but it has generated the entire code base for us without me having to intervene or guide it or anything. This is the power of Codex. It is the most persistent AI agent and can run for the longest, and it can make the least mistake. So I'm not joking when I say people who don't use Codex are missing out, because it really is essential for building software. While it is generating the final project for us, I want to also give you information just to remind you. Please connect it with your GitHub account. Start a new Git repository in this project and perform first commit. Do not ignore this. Do this, it will save your projects. It is performing the final cuts, attaching the documents required. So here I'm giving the command as run this project for me in the default web browser. Saying yes, proceed. Just show me the project. I'm eagerly waiting for that. Boom! Our project is there on our screens. See, the name of the project is Face Future. Upload your angles, get a fully beauty preview wall. Here it says 0 accounts required, 4 angles for your photograph is supported, and 21 preset looks per session. So here you can upload 1 to 4 clear selfies, and you can see all the looks for your selfies from here. Your smaller nose, filler lips, lifted outer eyes, raised brows, Botox, style smoothing, brighter under eyes, and all the features. You can even put these features into favorites list from here. So add your photos, see what all changes you want to have in your face, select from here, and before going to any surgery or any changes in your face, utilize this app for yourself. See this once, whether it suits your face or not, then take any decision. If you find it difficult, let's suppose you are not from the coding background, you don't know what all these codes are, then we can give the prompt to the Codex as explain the complete flow of the project to me in a simple plain English. Explain the complete project flow, the plain English. And it is working for us. So it has given us the complete functioning of our project. Step by step, what all it has done, what all we need to do, and the quality status as well. If you want to make any updates in your app, whatever we have seen on the screen, you can give the amendments to Codex and Codex will generate it for you. And now, once you are done with the entire setup, you will also have to connect it with your OpenAI API key, which you will find in your ChatGPT settings. From there, you can connect your project with your Open API key. You can ask Codex to connect it for you. You can copy paste the API key. It will connect it to your project. So the only step that is left after this is connecting your project with your API key. And then you have to deploy if you want to deploy your app and want to generate more money, then you can ask, give me the platforms where I can deploy my project. It will give you all the platforms you can select according to your choice. Then you can ask Codex itself to deploy the project on any of the software. And then you are good to go. You don't need to do anything. You just need to ask Codex to work on your behalf. Whatever you want to do, you can ask Codex to do it for you. You ask the instructions how you can deploy your app. It will give you all the instructions. It will deploy it for you by following those instructions by itself. Now, I want to explain you about another command, that is -plan. So there are different modes in Codex. Now I want to go into a plan mode. It is one of the most important modes of Codex, which will help you plan accordingly. See, we don't want to generate the plan on ourselves. We just need to give our thoughts in a complete English, like a prompt. Just put your thoughts here and it will generate the plan for you. You don't need to generate the plan. For this, you need to be in the plan mode first. And by pressing -plan, as we have done before, you can go and switch it into the plan mode. And if you want to see the changes, you can run /review on your desktop. Now, I also want you to show the desktop app of Codex. So I've already installed in my device. If you have not installed, you can go to the official website of Codex. From there, you can download the desktop version. So let me show it. So from here, you can go to the Codex app and you can download your app for Windows. And then these are the steps you can follow. If you want to download it for macOS, you can download it from here. And for Linux, then here. Then you need to open the Codex, sign in, select your project, and start functioning. So I have already downloaded it. So I'll show you. See, this is how the Codex app looks like. I'll highly recommend you, once you are done with the terminal CLI, go here, connect your project with this desktop app. It is so simple and user-friendly. It has amazing user interfaces. You can connect it with your GitHub, connect to your Gmail, connect to Slack, and any of your favorite apps. You can type the prompt here. You can select your project from here, whatever project you are working on, whatever you want to build, try something different, come up with some good ideas and design something really creative. You can check the plugins from here, and most importantly, you can go to the skills from here. You can select or download, install any of the skills you want for your project, whether it is Sora, PDF, Doc, image generation, OpenAI Docs, whatever you want in your project, you can download all the skills from here. It is the newest version of how you can use Codex. Here, we can also run different chats in parallel. If you are working on one project, then you can work on another, typing on new chat. So 2 chats will be working in simultaneously. If you want to work locally, then you can tap on this and then work locally. It is my favorite way of using Codex. I want to tell you this. And another thing I forgot to explain you is, when you are going into skills, and when you want to invoke that skill, like let's suppose we have installed any of the skills, you can use $, shift $, to invoke any of your skills. So this is the way you can invoke your skills. See, skill creator, skill installer, and everything. So dollar is the sign to use skills. Here you also have automations. You can automate your work, summarize whatever you want. You can create different agents that will perform different tasks for you simultaneously. You don't have to wait, or one agent will not affect your another task. So explore this app. Once you are done with the terminal interface, you can start working on this app as well. Now, before we end, let's summarize the most important best practices and the mistakes you should avoid in Codex learning journey. So the number 1 is always start with understanding. Before asking Codex to change code, ask it to explain the project. Now number 2, use Git checkpoints. Because Codex can edit files, Git can help you safely review, revert, and compare the changes. Third is write specific prompts. Do not say fix everything. Say exactly what is broken, what files matter, what should not be changed, and how to validate the fix. Number 4, ask Codex to explain before editing. Number 5, run tests. If tests do not exist, ask Codex to suggest test cases. And the last, number 6, avoid huge tasks at the beginning. Instead of saying build a full SES app for me, start with smaller tasks. Start with creating the authentication module, then add the dashboard layout, then add building page, then add test. So these were some practices that you should follow and mistakes you should avoid in your Codex journey. So let's recap what all we have covered in this video. Codex is OpenAI's AI coding agent that helps you write, review, debug, and ship code. It can work across your project files, it can understand your code base, it can make edits, it can run commands, and it can help with real development workflows. You can use it through IDE, CLI, web, and app. The best way to use Codex is not by giving vague commands. The best way is to give clear tasks, context, constraints, validation, steps, and expected output. Use Codex to understand projects, use it to build features, use it to debug issues, use it to write tests, use it to review code, use it to create documentation. But always remember this, Codex can speed up your work, But you still need to think like a developer. Review your code, run the test, understand the changes, then ship the confidence. And that is your complete beginner to practical course on OpenAI Codex. If you are a learning software developer, Codex can help you understand code faster. If you are already a developer, Codex can help you move faster across debugging, testing, documentation, and feature work. And if you work in a team, Codex can become part of your development workflow through code review, pull requests, skills, and cloud tasks. The future of coding is not just writing every line manually. It is knowing how to guide AI agents, review their work, and build better software faster. Now the next step is very simple. Do not stop at just watching this tutorial. Open the tool, start experimenting, try small projects, break things, fix them, and learn by building. Because that is where the real confidence comes from. If you enjoyed this course and found it helpful, do let us know in the comment section below. And if you want to build deeper skills in generative AI, then do check out the program link in the description box and in the pinned comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.